Wow, it's hot outside. Welcome to another episode of Panther Airsoft Folding Table Talk. As you can see here, this is episode 8. We are finally out at the field. I believe Tack is trying to do a T-pose, but the camera won't go on him if he talks.
Hello there.
There's Tack, and then we got Mac over at this corner here.
Hey guys, how's it going?
There you go. And we have our guests. We have...
hello. Hello.
Another
there we
resident
go.
ref.
Okay. How are you doing?
All right. Let's start it off. How's it like being out in the field, guys?
It's hot.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little bit hotter.
Don't recommend a black sweater.
I might suggest us getting a skeeter tent, maybe.
Good idea.
Or just
Good
more,
idea.
Or just more bug spray. My legs aren't liking this.
Let's do it in a pool next time.
I like the pool idea.
Pool idea.
yeah.
With all this
bartender.
equipment, thank you.
We'll have a floating pool. Don't worry, okay?
Don't worry, it'll be waterproof.
Surfboards float.
Water resistant.
Water resistant. Question for Mason, since you are our guest here.
New boy. Guy. New guy.
So, how long have you been playing Airsoft for?
I'll be playing Airsoft come September. It'll be 4 years. So
Still pretty young in the sport then, right?
yeah,
Or-
yeah. I haven't been around too long, I guess, comparative to a lot of other people that are around Panther. So
So how did you get started in Airsoft?
I had a friend who he tried to get me to come play back in high school, maybe like 7 years ago or whatnot. But I never went and did it because I didn't want to rent, because I've rented in paintball, and I mean the guns weren't what I wanted. So I figured Airsoft would be the same. So I decided not to until I decided one day just buy a nice gun and come right out to the field with a nicer gun instead of having to rent first. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what team are you part of?
I'm part of Trainwreck. I'm actually a manager for Trainwreck. I work with our social, like our Instagram and whatnot, and most recently just joined up with Poi on the meme team. So that's cool. My back hurts a little bit, but
If you guys don't know, Dayton hasn't released a video yet. For him to be initiated was for me to hose him down with the Gatling gun.
Very, very.
Classic Army minigun.
Yeah, the minigun,
Very
yeah.
meme team-esque.
Well, if you can survive that, you can survive meme team.
It's not that easy to get in, okay?
yeah.
I'm waiting for my try.
You have to remember he became a meme and now he's on meme team.
Oh, copy that.
Yep.
what is the meme? Am I a meme?
You
are
will
a
be a
meme
meme.
now.
You will.
I'm
You
a
are
meme
the
now.
meme.
Yeah.
I am the meme.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's a thumbnail out there of you somewhere.
Look at me.
Maybe a couple.
Look at me. I am the meme now.
yeah.
Eddie, do you guys have any questions for Mason there?
Well, I guess my first thing is, what was your first gun? Because you mentioned
Oh.
about that.
Yeah,
and-
so my first gun was an Amoeba AM013. No, yeah, 13.
So what caused you to choose that one? That seems like a little bit of out of the
I
blue.
wanted an M4. It's just like, like COD and stuff.
Okay.
Wanted the M4, wanted to be the cool guy. But I always loved the honey badgers. So I wanted something that looked kind of like a honey badger. And honestly, I wanted the 04 or 014, which was the short railed version.
Yeah.
But I got the long railed version simply because the short rail one was out of stock.
Okay.
So yeah, I had that, and then I eventually got like a Salient Arms high kappa.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Okay.
Didn't really use it very much though, because I didn't have a holster. So.
Here, guys, I got a good one. Mason, what type of player are you?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh yeah, that's a great question.
Um,
Yeah. What do you categorize yourself as?
I mean, is there like a speed sim?
Speed
Well, so-
soft,
well-
meme soft, milsim.
Well, and
Yeah.
then cause soft, just guys who
Yeah.
just buy it just for the sake of dressing up.
I-
Like they don't even fire, they don't even load a BB in their gas bag.
I feel like that falls
Are
under
you trying
meme
to call
soft.
me out here, Tak?
No.
Are you
'cause-
So
calling
what
him out?
are you? What are
no,
you?
because meme softs are guys like Rainbow and whatnot who physically make themselves look silly to go out and play, and then you have actual speed softers who think they're really, really cool by being competitive and adding like flair to themselves.
I'm just telling you, man. You add a Supreme sticker to anything, that's plus 10, whatever you want.
To
plus
drip.
Plus 10
Plus 10 to
RTS.
drip.
Plus 10 to everything.
Yeah.
Plus, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supreme, guys.
So I should be slapping that on my ankle, is what you're saying.
I'm so, what I'm saying, Corey, is I'm surprised you haven't done it already.
Next week I'll try.
Supreme socks.
Supreme
socks. Oh,
protect your
good one, good
ankles.
one, yeah.
That ankle support.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a milsimmer. I've gone to milsims, multiple milsim wests. The events that we do up here in Canada every once in a while. I've got the gear. I've done impression kits. But like personally, when I go out to just do a skirmish, I wear a chest rig, a belt, very minimalistic, lightweight, quick. I like to be very fluid with my movements, just very like minimalistic and
Functional.
almost perfectionist, but still a lot to like work on.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's always ever changing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, we know a little bit about Mason now.
Yeah, there you go, guys.
Epic. Any updates from our last podcast, guys? Noticed anything from gameplay or camo-wise? I know I saw that dad pat from, what's his name, David.
I'm waiting till we all rock that. Okay.
I'm getting there.
What was that one?
Dad pat. That's
Yeah.
like
The
the
dad
plaid
pattern.
shirt to hide
Oh
the.
yes, the good old plaid.
Yeah.
To hide the to camouflage the ever-growing beer belly.
How did that Gulag game? I
Yes,
think it was
yeah.
really popular from our last podcast, and now
Yeah.
it's been running for what, 2 weeks
Yeah,
now?
so we did run our city game with a added gulag attached to it just off the side. Mason and I were running that this week, and I enjoyed it. I thought we had a really good level of enthusiasm from both teams on the player base and everything like that. Mason, what was your intake
Yeah, I
on
mean, I ref or helped ref this last Gulag, but the first run of Gulag I actually played, so I can like give you a little bit of a feeling on like what it's like to play. I mean, it's very aggressive. You know, it's a city long game. Everyone's super aggressive. You get your spot, you hold it. Of course, you're gonna die every once in a while. You go to the Gulag. You know, it's intense. You know, it's a 1v1. You're trying to help out your team by winning. But yeah, no, it's super cool. And then the reffing portion, you know, it's cool to have everyone over there. You get to see everyone's competitive spirits kind of.
You get to
Get
see
pumped
you
up.
get to see the guys who are playing it right, you know, shoot and move.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of guys who wanted to wait, who wanted to kind of figure out where the other guy was, and by then they got shot because they waited too long. They posted up on a tree, would play it over grassy knoll. So it's literally either you go to the right or go to the left, and I saw a lot of guys going left, and for people who don't know that, that's me. When I say you're going left, that means you're doing the wrong thing.
It's great that we're actually right in front of
Yeah,
him.
like it's right over there.
Yeah,
Like, you know, yeah, exactly. So, shoot and move, guys, because that game mode is gonna stick around, and I'm expecting to see a lot more from that. One thing I did we did have to change around was obviously team balances are different depending on the day, depending on the player skills and everything like that. So this past weekend we did have it a little one-sided, but the players themselves individually, because that's what it comes down to as a gulag, they did a really good job at trying to get back in there. You know, that's what we loved about throwing this portion in, because just like Warzone and everything like that, everyone's playing. It really sucks to get knocked out of the game right at the end, right at that initial push. So it made me happy to see a couple of the guys that won Gulag run back into City, and then they were ready to go again. You know, so yeah, just trying to bring that out.
Yeah, just like touching on the portion of like people trying to get back into the game. I know that once the lineup start like backing up a little
so
bit.
we had to make a change.
Yeah, we had to make a little change. We started doing a 2v2 or a 3v3 depending how big the lineups were. And you know that kind of helps as well, because you know Gulag is an individual basis, right? So you have the 1v1s. Usually the better player is going to get back in.
100%.
It's all about the 1v1. Once you introduce other elements like a second, third player,
Team.
a team, exactly. You're offering the people that normally might not win the 1v1, right? You're giving them an opportunity to get back into the game.
Yep.
So it helps the balance a little bit more as well. Made it go by a little faster for the guys winning the lineup. I know everyone doesn't want to just sit on the sidelines, you know, after playing for
Well, it
maybe
can get
5
boring.
minutes.
It can
Yeah,
get boring.
you don't want to.
so-
You want to be stuck in the sun either, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was nice to be able to like Mason's touching on, sometimes there are players out there who aren't adept in their weapon handling skills or how to move, how to shoot, how to play. So it was really nice to see people kind of teaming themselves off in the lines.
Yeah.
And like I said, it didn't matter if 2 people got knocked out on the 3v3. If your one person on your team won the game, your team went back in. So that made it really, really cool to see one guy carry the team and then all 3 of them running back into the game. So that extended the game. It extended the fun. And I'm hoping to see more of it.
Yep. And it's a great addition, especially when we ask the audience,
Yeah.
our listeners, what great ideas we could get.
It was a great one. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good.
That gulag came from an audience member then.
Yep.
It wasn't just.
It was suggested by the
It was
audience,
suggested.
and we have refined it a little bit based off of just
Of
the
what we can
event
do.
out here and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like the whole purpose of it, at least in my opinion, is to keep the spirit of the game going and make sure that everyone sort of gets the most out of the game in that particular moment. That's why we have that 15-minute time limit, so that the game doesn't drag on forever, so that at some point there is an end, and as well as the balancing issue that you guys have with making it so that if one side's sort of outplaying the other team, you start adding in more players so that they have more of a chance to redeem themselves. And I really like that part, and I think that this is a game mode that's going to be pretty popular and something that we can use often. I wouldn't want to do it too often so that it gets outplayed, because it's something that I actually think is really cool. But it's something that I think will be popular amongst the airsoft community, at least for Panther in my eyes.
Yep.
Well,
It's
the
going to
good-
stay.
Yeah, and the good thing about that too is, okay, you know what? Yes, some of you are gonna feel personally attacked here. You need to work on your fitness. If you cannot run from the gulag back to city, you need to work on your fitness.
All right, there is your tip from Mac.
Or just wear less gear. you
Yeah,
know?
well,
There
that,
you
that
go,
too,
there you
you
go.
know, that too, or go pistols. I saw a lot of guys dropping the ARs and wanting to go to pistols only. And
Makes sense,
You know,
yeah.
I couldn't. We're never gonna force anyone to go just pistols, because not everyone owns a pistol. Not everyone's proficient in a pistol. Some people don't have any faith in their pistols. So I understand having the AR, but no, it was really cool to watch.
I'm sorry.
Even
I'd
even
like
the
to
opposing
interject
the
right
opposing.
there.
Oh, what is it? What is
Just
it?
there is one restriction. Because of the length of gulag, there is no allowance of sniper rifles.
Yeah,
That
no.
includes DMRs.
Yeah. Look.
No,
No.
it's-
I
that's
get
it.
your
That-
point
that's
there.
it, that's it.
I get your point there. My only point is
there
we're
is
playing
no point.
city.
That's it.
No. This is my point. We're playing city, and if you have a DMR or a bolty in city, you're trash. I'm sorry. I don't care.
We'll take your added statement. But I'm
Trash.
just saying.
To all you snipers
I'm
out
just
there,
saying, there's
I
that.
hope that you've all seen the tag we have on the sniper building that says, "If you can read this, stop camping."
Oh.
I love the little notes that we left around.
Yeah, you go around, maybe because someone chuckle every once in a while.
Little notes left by refs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of little notes, Eddie, do you guys have any updates at the field or anything like that? Any improvements, or do you even have time for improvements there, Matt?
Okay, I understand that apparently I've been teasing this too much. I'm sorry, the changes are coming. I have a very busy life besides just doing the Airsoft
I'd like to add that Mac
podcast.
has a very big mouth.
Do realize that both of you are literally 6 feet here,
Yeah,
and
I
there
know.
is a folding chair somewhere here.
got a
What are you
chair
trying-
right
Boy,
there.
what are you trying to start right now?
I'm not starting anything. I'm just
telling
saying
you,
we've
has the
done
chair
this.
ready.
We've
okay?
done this
Yeah.
remotely. Now we're close proximity, and I feel a fight.
Some
Is this
tension.
gonna happen?
Yeah, the Wi-Fi's not going to cut out here, Tack. I'm going to hear what you're saying.
There's no mute button, is there?
Oh man, no.
Push to talk. Push to talk.
Any reminders for players right now? I think the biggest reminder is please fill out your waivers, guys.
Yeah.
Because
Before
we
you
need
arrive.
to know how many people are coming in on the weekend. We had a huge turnout this weekend.
Yeah.
Please fill out your waivers.
Yes.
And as well as any renters out there who are willing to rent or who are wanting to rent, we're still limiting the amount of renters. So please go to the website, book in your rentals.
Yeah.
Highly
First come,
recommend
first
it.
serve, guys. First come,
Yep.
first serve. There's a
Yeah.
limited number, and if you want to get in there, get in there.
And we were talking about how hot it is outside here today, and the weekend especially.
exactly.
Hydrate, guys.
Exactly.
As
Stay
Tack has been
hydrated.
pointing out.
Yeah,
What is it?
It's just been really.
So what is your advice on
Yeah.
hydration there? You said do it the night before.
Well, exactly. You want to do it the night before, just so that you stock up on your reserves and stuff like that. If you're trying to do it at the moment, it's already too late because your body's already too heated.
Yeah.
So you want to catch it beforehand. Even if you're gonna peel out before bed and stuff like that, it's good. You're cycling yourself. You're getting yourself hydrated. That's
Gotta
the main.
maintain yourself.
Exactly. And I'd just like to add to with the waivers. The earlier you guys do it, the easier it is for us to understand the numbers for the weekend so that we can then better accommodate you guys. If you guys try to do it last minute, then we got to think about a lot of stuff last minute, and that's where we end up doing a lot of the short games and stuff like that. And mind you, they are fun, but we do like planning a lot of these sort of big event games and stuff like that. But it only works when we actually know, if there's a big presence coming out and stuff like that. Other than that, I think we can move on to our next topic.
Well, here, just to add on to the tips for, staying alive right now during the summer and everything like that, guys, is you do not choose your gear properly. A lot of people are still rocking the full plate carriers or rocking a full BDU or something like that. If you're going for an immersion, some kind of impression or something like that, you get the coveted pat on the back.
Even those guys don't like it.
They embrace the suck.
Tack.
Yep.
Embrace the
But
suck.
no,
If
seriously.
you're wearing full gear and you're not wearing underwear, you're doing it right.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Wait,
whoa,
Whoa.
whoa.
That's immersion, guys.
What's wrong with underwear?
Yeah.
Why are you discriminating?
I'm just saying. if
My
it's really-
Calvins are comfortable as hell.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But if you're trying to play soldier, right, and you want to do immersion, and you're still wearing that full plate carrier, you better not be wearing any underwear because
Are
they
you
wouldn't
telling
doing
me
that
that
either.
our soldiers are not wearing underwear?
100%.
Put that in the comments.
If you're still listening.
But okay. Let's segue on over.
All right. So for today's topic, we had that Instagram questionnaire. Who do you go to, or who or where do you go to do your tech work? So we're talking about maintaining your airsoft gun and as well as doing tech work on it. There was a lot of people that went in. Oh, there wasn't really a lot. That's why I didn't really post up any replies because there seems to be a lack of techs up at Panther here. I wish we had more, but even for me, with a bin full of guns, if you have that many, you also have that many broken guns.
Exactly.
Do you have a number on how many out of the bin actually work?
I don't know. At this point, I'll put battery in it. Oh, it works. Okay, I can use it.
What about your gas guns?
I yeah.
Do those ever work, really?
They
Or
do.
all
They do.
show?
They do.
All show.
I'm like a gas tech, but I'm not an AEG tech. So everyone has their own specialty in this hobby, right? As any hobby, everybody's got a specialty here, right? That doesn't matter what. Ultimately, it's an airsoft like hobby, and airsoft is all about the airsoft gun. So, like, to segue to that, like, what is like easy ways to maintain, like, let's say an AEG, like from you guys? Like for me, is just a lot of barrel cleaning and a lot of like, what is taking the battery out. That's
Well, I feel like that's the biggest one a lot of people forget.
Yep.
Yeah.
Taking your battery out.
Taking the battery
Yeah,
out.
lipos aren't cheap,
Yeah, lipos are not
and
cheap.
neither is your gun when it catches on
I was
fire.
about to say, yeah,
Oh,
your gun's
boy.
not cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times. It hasn't happened to me yet, but I've
I
seen it
too have
happen.
seen that.
I was about to
Yes.
say, yeah, like, hey.
Mason, do you have experience with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a battery. I won't name the company, but I had a battery that.
That's nice of you.
That's
Oh, you-
really nice of you.
You're very welcome, said company. Respond to my email. No, I had a battery in my gun, and I was around somebody that was smoking a cigarette, and I saw some smoke like around me, and I figured, oh, it's just the guy smoking a cigarette. No, it was my gun.
Yeah, when we looked down and
Yeah, it was smoking. It was
out
melting.
of the buttstock, yeah.
Yeah, out of the buttstock. Ripped that out real quick. Luckily, only damage to the wiring, which I can just do that at home.
Yep.
It's not that difficult if you know what you're doing. tech work.
Tech.
Okay, well that's a pretty good save.
Airsoft
you
tech.
know?
Yeah.
Like that to me sounds like a very costly repair. Anything electrical to me is costly.
Yeah, it's definitely something you got to dive into. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
but
mean-
if it was for me and I see it happening on my gun and I have no like knowledge of like any sort of like electrical work or anything, I would just go to the store right away.
You're
Yeah.
not just throwing out the whole gun.
Well, okay, so yeah. So in this case, then let's just talk about what each of us would do individually. But Mason, like, what did you end up doing with that situation? Like,
Well, first off, if your gun's smoking, like remove the battery like as soon as possible. When there's no power, it's gonna stop like running current. There will be nothing heating up, and usually the heating up part is what actually causes it to smoke and catch fire.
okay,
But yeah, luckily, no actual damage to the gun besides the wiring. But you know, if you know what you're doing, just snip it, solder some back on, you're good to go. Yeah, I mean, other than that, teching wise, I have gas, electric. I have some bolt actions, very light amount of bolt actions.
Oh yeah.
But
What's your recommendations on maintaining it? That's what
Yeah.
we're talking about right now.
for AGs.
Yeah,
for,
so, like-
for all of those.
For all your
Exact-
cars,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, gas guns, you got to take them apart. You got to get all the dirt out. Any dirt in there can cause like scratching. You don't want them wearing down too quickly. AEG wise, honestly, I don't do too much to my AEGs. I clean the barrel. I take out the battery. Every once in a while, you might have to clean out your mags. I know that certain brands will clog up and cause your BBs to spew everywhere like confetti. Yeah, and then bolt actions similar for me similar to gas guns. I take them apart completely, oil them up, grease them up.
So you're confident in taking apart your Springer.
The
basically.
springers, yes. AEGs, I don't touch a gearbox at all. I'm scared of them.
okay, all right. Well, that's fair.
You have a
That's
very
fair.
reasonable fear.
Well,
there.
What about you, Tack?
A Mac.
Sorry, Mac.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Dang it.
I still like you. Well, for me, like most people know right away that I give my guns to Tack, but there are
We'll just
times.
move on to him then.
There
on
are
to the next
times.
host.
There are times where it's a simple quick fix or something like that, and I'm able to take care of it and stuff like that. Like the best way I put it, because again, yeah, I own all platforms as well: Springer, Gas, and HPA, AEG, all of that stuff. Tack and I in our armory, our own personal armory, we've got everything. And from my perspective on that is, if I can fix it, if it's a quick little fix or something like that, I'll do it. If it's something that I need to go into, that's where I'm gonna kind of pull back and stuff. So I put it to you guys like with my car, right? I'm totally willing to change a tire on my car. If you're asking me to change the brakes on my car, I am going to go to a mechanic.
So what is a tire compared to an airsoft?
I could probably put a hop up in. I am not going to change my gear ratio.
Putting a hop up in for me is like, I don't even change my tire, okay? Leave me alone.
He changes his blinker fluid.
Yeah.
What's a blinkle?
It's necessary.
It's a
okay.
necessity. You don't
Yeah.
want to lose it.
You don't.
Let's hop over to Tack.
Okay, well, I guess for me, my nature is I like tinkering with stuff.
Yep.
So I'll kind of keep hitting my head over the object until I'm, fed up with it and done with it, and then I'll try and find an expert. When it comes to AEGs, I'm still a little hesitant. I am willing to open up the gearbox and stuff like that. I am willing to resolder wires and whatnot, just from my previous experience with other things and stuff like that. But I'm still trying to learn a lot when it comes to the whole gear ratios and everything like that. I'm sure it's easy, and it's not hard for some people, but it's just that I've done so many other things in my life that it's really hard to try and learn something and then try and retain that information as well as still function and do all these other things. Maybe other people are a lot better than me, but that's where my fault is. Well, when it comes to GBB or HPA, I find that a lot easier to work with, so I have an easier time dealing with that stuff. I don't really take it to anyone unless there's a serious problem, but usually I can fix it on my own, and then after that point I'll just send it into the manufacturer. When it comes to HPA anyway, the manufacturers are really, really good. So you're able to, get that problem fixed fairly simply. GBBs, just like a real firearm kind of thing, at least in my opinion. To maintain it and stuff like that, you got to clean it.
Break it down.
Exactly, break it down and stuff like that. You want to lube it and stuff. With AEGs, same thing. You want to, take it apart, clean it. If you're a lazy person, I'd suggest, getting a wide bore. You don't have to clean it as much, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to clean it. With like with the GBB stuff, yeah, something breaks, I'll just replace the part, stuff like that. Springers, I haven't really worked on springers often enough to call myself any kind of expert or anything like that. I know how to take them apart and I know how to put them back together. Again, they're another platform. It's pretty fairly simple to understand and stuff like that. But I find a lot of airsoft comes down to just, or a lot of airsoft expertise comes down to just, making a mistake, learning from it, and just keep going. Or like if you're a smart person, figuring everything else out at the start, kind of thing. So that's sort of my take on that. With those platforms. I don't know, Poi, do you I know you talked about gas and stuff like that, but like a Springer or like AEGs and stuff like that, is there?
For me, tech work is not really my thing. We could talk about AEG stuff, but I could tell you plug in battery and that's all I know. I don't know how to change my hop up. No, I do, but like changing the rubber and stuff on it. But as far as AEG goes, I'm not touching that at all. I would send it to an expert. And I used to have an expert in a team, but now we don't have one anymore. So it's really hard to find someone. I don't like I've seen a bunch in the comments already saying that it's hard to find someone that works on guns that freely advertises, at the field. That's very hard. I know you, Pac, you could do it. But as far as someone who's willing to get paid for it, I haven't seen a lot of people.
Well, it's hard, right? It's like how do you gauge someone's professionalism when it comes to airsoft tech work? Is there a school? Is there a degree?
There is no level of certification. There's nothing,
Can I
right?
see your portfolio of past builds?
And then there's the certificate of being able to work on systemas.
Is that true?
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
You have to take a course
And from what I
to actually
understand,
work on
too,
systemas.
Okay, system is a different thing at this point.
Systemas are superior, is what you mean.
Oh, this debate is getting started.
Okay, let's get back to me here. But AEG, I'm not touching it. I look at it, I go, cool. It works. It doesn't work.
Well, for you guys, if something goes wrong, kind of thing, who would you go to? So, for Poi, if something did go wrong,
I would just go to the store right away.
So, which specific place would you go to?
I would just go to Trigger,
or just other examples, kind of thing,
Trigger. That's pretty much it. Because I like ease.
Yep. Yeah. Of course.
And if I have the money, then I'll do it. Right.
Yeah.
Just if something's wrong with my car, right, I go to the mechanic.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
There's no issue with that. The problem is price. Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
You're going to replace it plus the hours they worked on it. Plus whatever fees that they have.
Plus labor. Plus.
Yeah.
BB surcharge.
So that's me for AEG.
Teching isn't free. That's the thing.
Hey, I'm not saying teching's free. Yeah. I agree with
it's
that.
It's either you're paying with your time, which case most people are willing to pay with their time.
Yep.
And the other thing is paying with money. And it's funny when you think about that. I think we'll bring that up later down here. But to stay on topic here for you, Mason, if anything went wrong for your guns, who would you go to? Who are your local options?
It kind of depends on what actually
goes wrong
and what gun I'm using. If it's one of my gas guns that goes wrong, and if I can figure it out, I'll do it myself. I know this past weekend I had an issue where my my Glock was not the slide wasn't going back, so I figured something was blocking it. So I went in, I dremeled the screw, it worked fine now. But if it's something I don't know what's going on, if I can't figure it out, I go to personally Poi just because
I'm a gas tech.
he's the gas god.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gas daddy.
AEG, most of the time I can figure out what's wrong with it. If it's making a weird sound, I know just don't touch it. I let someone that actually knows what they're doing to take a look at it. Sometimes I go to TAC. Maybe TAC has a different opinion. Getting another set of eyes always helps. What else? Sniper rifles. Depends on the platform. VSR-10, no idea.
Go to Dayton. Go to Dayton.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Just go to Dayton.
Go to Dayton.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
owned a VSR-10, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I
if
know,
you're talking about
Dayton's busy and stuff, but I'm sure he's willing to help people out.
He'll see.
You know,
He'll
every
see
once
that
in a
one
while.
DM out of thousands.
he'll see it. But if you're talking L96s, oh baby, oh baby.
Yeah, I heard you almost got like the Iron Throne of L96s.
I'm thinning them out.
How
They're
many is it?
they're going to new owners. Okay.
How many is it?
I'm
How many do you own?
well, it started with 1,
And then it went to,
2,
and what was the final number?
13.
Can we
what
can
I
we talk
thought.
about how many of them actually work?
Right
Yeah,
now,
you heard that right. You heard that right, Poi. How many?
I have fixed 6 and sold 6. I have 7 left. One of which is a.
Are you
mini
an
sniper.
L96 retailer?
We don't talk about that.
So what you're saying is you're somewhat of a tech.
For L96s, in specific, well L96s. Don't bring me
Gotcha.
that Snow Wolf crap. I don't know what the hell it is.
Okay.
But, yeah, no, I got a couple just basic L96s. I've got one with a one of a kind Mosin the Gaunt stock on it.
That is a beautiful.
That's
gun.
nice.
Oh, it's amazing. I love it. And then I've got this little mini, like, it looks like a Nerf gun. Basically, it sounds like a Nerf gun, but I use it kind of like a shotgun, but it's a sniper.
Okay.
That thing's kind of cool.
So we're
Alright.
segueing into another topic here. You're basically have a lot of L96, yes.
Yeah.
As far as like performance goes for any guns, do you guys prefer stock or do you guys prefer upgraded? Because seems to be a big debate online about you should buy an upgraded gun or you should buy a stock gun. What's your guys' opinion on it?
I think we'll start with the circle here. So we'll
Alright,
start with you,
me
Mason.
then?
Yeah.
Okay, well, like, personally, it depends on what I'm going for. If I know what I want out of a gun already, like, say, for example, I am buying a new pistol, and I want it to be upgraded right away. I'm going to buy the pistol, I'm going to buy the parts, I'm going to give it to someone that knows what they're doing, and they're going to give me a product that I'm going to be happy with.
It's satisfying. Exactly.
I've used stock guns for a long time. Most of my guns that I own are stock, and I'm perfectly happy with them when something breaks. That's just small. Like, for example, my WE-M4, if the nozzle breaks, I'm going to buy a new nozzle. They're very cheap to replace, but if something more expensive breaks, I might look at upgrading it at the same time.
Yep.
Saves me some money, some time down the road as well.
Okay. Well, so for my consensus, it's just like I understand the hype behind upgraded things. You know, better performance.
Just like a car, right?
Well, exactly. You know, you're gonna tune up a car. You're gonna change you're gonna throw a spoiler on it. Never.
What's the spoiler in the airsoft world? What's a spoiler in the airsoft world?
An HPA tank.
No.
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 I feel like there's
That's
steps.
a nos.
I feel like there's steps before.
A spoiler is key mod. M-Lock is superior.
Oh. Okay. All right.
People are gonna fight you on that.
That's
I'll take you up on that.
M-Lock is changing things. So I guess for me, I have bought numerous guns. I have bought numerous guns stock. I have bought numerous guns used. Some people claim that they are upgraded. Some people claim that they, some are upgraded, and some claim that they're upgraded, and they are not. So for my general consensus of when it comes to upgrades and stuff like that, and just stock, is I will run a gun until it breaks stock. I don't have any issues with range or anything like that. A lot of people get into fights about being able to range people. Most of the time, I just say move up, get closer. And I understand that there are some people out there with guns that are tuned to the T that can hit 300 feet, deadly accurately or whatever. Avoid playing that side of the field.
That's most of the guys at ASG games. Actually,
Yeah.
they're very tuned. So
Very
these guys
tuned.
have been here, been
Yeah.
around for a while.
No,
I could tell.
and a
I
lot
could
of them
tell.
actually
Hey,
have
but I held
systemas.
my own at the last
Hey,
night.
yeah,
game,
no,
okay?
no,
I
we're
held
good,
my
we're good.
own.
We did good. We did good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just like Mason said there too, if a part breaks, obviously I'm gonna look at upgrading it. Just the con that I know comes out right away when you upgrade one part is that more are going to follow, because if something is broke, obviously it's outlived its lifespan, or performance-wise, it's kaput. And when you throw in upgraded parts, you are starting to change the equation that is the gun. So that's my thing, is I'll run it stock till something breaks. If something breaks, I'll replace it with something better. But when you do that, you always have to keep in mind that the rest of the gun is going to follow suit. So
Would you rather like upgrade a part, like a gun, one part at a time, like as things are breaking?
No. So I've done.
Or would you rather like dish out the money and get it done right
so
away?
I've done both. I've done both, right?
What do you prefer?
I mean, it comes down to, again, like what I'm trying to get the gun to do and everything like that.
No, I see that.
Yeah. So, like, do I want some ultimate CQB deadly? Like, do I want an ARP DMR? Meh, I don't know. Maybe I'll pay for the money to get that. I don't think so.
It's kind of weird.
It's weird.
I hate
I've
that
seen
idea.
Short
I've
barrel.
I've seen it done, man. It's really gross.
ARPs are overrated.
High rate of fire.
But yeah, exactly. Like, I understand people trying to get DMR builds and everything like that. By the way, if you're running a DMR and it's not 7.62, I hate you. Yeah, that's my opinion on it.
All right. What's your take on attack? Stock or pre-upgrade or upgraded? Also, before you talk, can we just appreciate how nice the sunset is? Like, having
Look at that.
being outside and doing a
at the sun,
podcast.
man.
This
I
is
know.
actually amazing.
I'm down with
I'm,
this.
I'm really hoping COVID blows over so that we can, try and do this on a more regular.
Yeah.
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 Well, we got to
but-
remember, we're under 50 people, guys. We're cool.
Yeah. So, just, back to the topic there, keeping it stock or upgraded. Just coming from my experience, if you have the money, and it comes down to the fight and argument of time versus the money that you're willing to spend and everything like that. So, if you're someone who's, willing to spend a lot of money but don't have a lot of time, then that's the route you're going to take. Go buy an upgraded gun. You're not going to be disappointed. Don't be scared when you see prices from like Umbrella that go up to like $3,000 because it can get higher.
That's the Ferrari of the airsoft world.
exactly.
Umbrella Army? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess the
Thanks,
good,
Dayton.
yeah. Well, and I guess a good argument is coming down to like, where you guys use the car analogy, right? Like they're both cars or they're both airsoft guns, right? They both are doing the same thing. They're both doing it differently, but like, let's say, you're using...
The only difference is with cars and airsoft is airsoft's cheaper.
Exactly, airsoft's cheaper, yeah.
Only sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
know.
like...
I own a couple things that are more than my car.
Yeah, well, it's like I've had my
Yeah.
friends, with stock guns. Like there's sometimes, I've had the random opportunity to just go and grab one of the sleeper rental guns that Elliot has at Panther and stuff like that, and take that out for a little bit of a spin. And I have a lot of fun with it. Mind you, it doesn't shoot at 419, 410 on the dot or anything like that, and the trigger response is a little, potato,
Mushy,
mashed potato
It's a
or
little mushy,
something
yeah.
like that. But it still hits the people. It still gets the targets and stuff like that. And I still have a lot of fun. It's not the quietest thing, but that comes down to just min-maxing and stuff like that. So I think to the general public, I would say grab a stock gun, because if you don't have the experience of what a stock gun is, then you can't appreciate the platform that you get upgraded. Now,
100%.
mind
You need to have
you, the
realistic
people who
expectations.
have the money to spend, you already don't care about expectations. You're just going to keep throwing money at it. So, in my opinion, your opinion on that doesn't matter because you have money. That's it, right? For everyone else who doesn't, I'd say try it out stock. Stock till it breaks, and then decide what you want to do. If you want to replace it, replace the whole thing, because like Max said, right? It's like you replace one part, one thing is going to go down.
It's like a domino.
It's
the
exactly- it's a domino
tolerance of
effect.
different parts as well.
Yeah,
You have to keep in
exactly.
mind.
Exactly, and GBB is a great example for that. In the
Yes.
case of like,
Yep.
well, no, not even the nozzles. Like for example, the Wii platform. If you get the upgraded RA Tech bolt, but you don't get the upper
RA trigger.
or the RA trigger, or like the upper receiver and stuff like that, then you just put like a harder bolt inside a very soft pot metal
So
body.
what you're doing is you're putting aluminum with the hardened steel.
Exactly.
And they don't meld well.
No,
and
no,
this is
it'll
my biggest
break.
issue is when people come in and they say I have issues with my like Wii or my GBB. I'll be like, okay, and
What
did you do anything?
upgrade?
And then they're like, oh, I put the metal like a nozzle on it, and then I still have the the stock bolt carrier with the
So that
stock
won't,
trigger.
That won't work, or it's just.
I mean, it
it
will,
works,
yes,
but
it works,
you're-
but you're basically melding two materials together that usually doesn't like each other. Like,
So basically, what I'm being told right now is I shouldn't put 32s on my Pathfinder tires.
I don't know what
It'll
you
look
meant.
cool.
It'll look cool.
It'll look cool. Do
It'll
it.
rip up the wheel well, but it'll look
Yeah.
cool.
Well, yeah. So honestly, yeah, it's for me, I'm a stock guy. Stock till it breaks, and if I like something and I don't want to go the whole route of going stock, then I'll go spend the money. You know what I mean? Like if I, for example, I guess I really like the M4, like an M16 platform or something like that, right? I really enjoyed the M16 platform, the platform itself, not what was inside, not what it was doing, but the platform. Then I would be like, okay, I'm gonna buy an upgraded M16 variant.
You just
or
like the
something
feel
that.
of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna flat out say that stock is awesome. It's not. It's stock.
It's stock.
But you can make it work. You know, you can make up for those shortcomings by being more tactical.
Well,
and
and
stuff like
there are different level of guns in every companies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Out of the box guns that are gonna perform great stock, like Crytek being one of the just simple ones, right? Like you buy a Crytek versus buying a combat machine, you're gonna notice a pretty significant performance difference, right? But obviously, apples and oranges.
Well, another thing I thought of right now too is that a lot of people seem to forget is that at Panther we're in an open field, which means that you are going to see the maximum capability of your gun because of the openness of the field. That's including your range, your dispersion rate and all that stuff. Like you can see your consistency based off of the natural elements. While in CQB, that's a little bit harder to see, like in an indoor place, right? Like at that point, in my opinion, it comes down to just the speed of your BB, right, and your tactics. So
Also, we're in outdoors as well, so
Yeah.
it's gonna get dirty.
The elements.
It's all the elements. Rain. Oh my gosh, rain.
rain and condensation.
Quiet guys, we just had a week of sunshine. We're not trying to jinx it for the weekend.
Yeah, so I
So-
think that's a big factor that people need to keep in mind too, for our sake here, at least on at
So
Panther. And stuff
clean
like
your
that.
guns, guys.
Yeah,
Especially on a
definitely-
dusty weekend. Clean, especially a gas blowback.
Yeah,
Especially
the easiest thing you can do is like literally clean your barrel with proper cleaning cloths and using the iso alcohol and stuff like that. And I guess I don't know. It's like, do you suggest people to silicone oil their bucking to keep it supple? Like because
I don't.
Yeah, I feel like that
the
would just
problem
ruin
the
it.
problem in my mind is that I do it because I
I've-
know that I want to keep it supple, but the
I've-
problem is that I feel like the general
yeah.
public is going to do it and then not do it properly, and
Well,
then they're going to complain about their
The
BB
thing
shooting
is you
everywhere.
have to remember that anytime you put oil on the inside of the bucking, it's gonna affect the way your BB is
consistency,
gonna
yeah.
shoot. So most of the time you want to apply it to the outside because all it's doing is preventing it from drying out, from cracking, and then breaking. So it's like the same thing. Like when you're cleaning a barrel, you don't want to stick your
but
unjamming rod all the way down,
Yeah.
because you're gonna get, because it's pushing the dirt when you're pushing it in, and it's gonna push that dirt straight into your bucking.
that's why you do it the other way around
Yeah.
usually. Yeah, well,
So you gotta take it out though.
Yeah.
And do
Yeah,
it.
you want to take it completely apart. So
if,
that
if
don't
you
wanna-
can, yeah.
Now, I've heard, like, I've been doing this before, but I don't know if I should do it. But from what I heard, like, a long time ago, you take a little bit of, like, oil, put it in a tissue, and then ram it all the way down your inner barrel, and then, like, clean it out, and then use a clean towel, or clean, sheet, and then ram it in there, and then clean it out, and then you see all the dirt come out. Is
To
that,
this
like,
day, I still see
is this-
instruction booklets that explain that process.
So it's still a thing.
Well, I still see it like in, let's say, like Tokyo Marui handbooks and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but I don't
G&G
see
does it too. Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, but I don't see it in anything like VSC handbooks or anything like that.
Because I find that
VFC doesn't need maintenance, man. You just put it in the bag and you pull it out when you're ready to play.
Okay.
that's true. My VFC hasn't broken down on me. Please don't break.
And then there's mine. That
Okay.
is full watered into the ground.
So there you go.
Died
That's
on
something the
you.
general public can do easily.
Yeah.
It's in the manual
Yeah.
anyway. So clean your barrel, because if you want consistency, there you go.
Exactly.
Cleaning is the easiest thing you can do, because any bit of dirt, definitely, that
Well-
it'll improve your consistency.
If you're still unsure, I mean, there's like probably millions of YouTube videos
Yeah,
out there.
that's
how to clean
we're gonna
your barrel.
segue to that as well, because resource.
And just before that, guys, remember, maintenance is always easier and cheaper than fixing things.
Oh,
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, airsoft teching is not cheap.
Yeah, so that's one of those things I've seen in our responses from Instagram is DIY. People just do DIY. Now, since this is a hobby, you know, you're going to get a lot of DIYers, because like any hobby, it's always do it yourself. There's not a lot of resources out there. There is a lot of resources online that you can find for teching.
Tons.
Airsoft, like our Airsoft, like
Multiple forums.
Airsoft Canada, multiple forums, TAC,
Yeah, that's
your
right.
library.
Yeah, the
I know,
Airsoft
like, I'm
Canada
a part of an
forums and stuff.
L96 forum.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
And,
You wrote that.
Which,
right?
by the way, I'm the only person in Canada in that forum. It's all the UK.
Oh.
So shout out to the UK
That's
boys.
because everyone likes to run snipers out there.
That's because they don't have any limits on their snipers.
I'm
That's
also.
why everyone hates the guy who shoots people in the head.
You talking about Dayton?
No, well, he does it every now and then, but
No,
he
he's
says
talking-
sorry.
He's talking about another English
Someone that
fella.
wears like
Okay.
a ghillie suit.
Yeah, I'm talking about the ghillie suit
the
guy.
ghillie suit guy. You know.
There's a bunch of them in the UK, but let's not name names right
Well,
now.
I'm
Gotcha.
not. I'm just saying the guy who makes ghillie suits and sells them. That's close enough.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Yeah, tons of online resources. I'm part of like a bunch of groups for like, you know, Wii, because of the fact that like there's a lot of people out there. You can find GHK groups out there. You can find a lot of like Airsoft taking, like even Sistema, of course.
But I think the easiest thing to do is like whatever gun or brand that you own, the first thing that you should do when looking online is trying to join an owners group. So, for example, if you have a Crytek, join the Crytek owners group. If you own a Polar Star, I know that's an HPA system, but just as an example, they also have a Polar Star group. Wolverine has a Wolverine owners group. For some of you haters out there, there is a Novrich owners group as well. So for anyone with a Navi sniper, pistol, and soon-to-be Navi rifle, that is also a place that you can go for resources
when
and
is,
stuff
when is
like
that supposed to release?
I don't know. That's
Too bad, eh? He takes all his guns from other people, but you can't take their advice too. Yeah, you have to take his proprietary advice.
Who did he take it from this time?
Which one?
Oh, did he just like?
Are you talking that we got this?
well. If we're gonna speculate on that, my assumption is it's a KWA brand.
Yeah.
That's my speculation.
Really for the AR?
Yeah.
For his platform, that's my assumption.
They use the 2.5s, don't they? The KWA.
Off the top of my head, I can't
AEGs?
remember. I haven't
I think it
owned
was.
a KWA AEG, but from what I've read and from what I've seen, people are trying to point fingers at KWA base brand.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right, let's hop back into the topic. We don't want to talk about Novrich too much here. Please sponsor us.
We'll still take your free shit.
Well, it definitely seems like the majority of the airsoft community wants to spend the time. I would say, and I think that
I would
comes
say
down to
thinks they want to spend the time.
So, to me, it comes down to that's my look on it, and I think it's because there isn't a huge availability in resources for airsoft teching, right?
What are the dangers of Airsoft teching other than
Breaking your gun.
well,
Blowing up your gearbox.
Yeah, right off the bat, I would say if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to break your gun. If you take your friend's gun, telling him that you think you can fix it,
I've seen a few of that.
Oh
Oh my
my
gosh.
God. So
I can't.
often.
It's more than I have fingers and toes, guys. About the amount of people, like this Saturday actually, I had a kid come up to me and tell me that his friend told him that he could put his AK back together. I have a shopping bag full of I think it's a half assembled AK. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't taken a look at
It's
it
like
other
a
than
quarter,
shake my
dude.
head.
I've looked at that.
It's missing springs already at this point.
I don't want to look at it yet, but I'm gonna spend some time this weekend. But again, so that those are some of the horrors that can happen. You know, from
I've seen
DIY.
people pop their gearboxes open here at the field.
Oh
Bad
my
idea.
God.
And then, of course, what comes out? The spring.
Well, the spring or a anti-reversal latch.
Or they lose a shim, or they.
That, oh man, that's my favorite
And
thing. is
then,
when
and
their
then what do
gears
they do?
fall
They
out.
come to your store and be like, help, fix it.
Well, it's not even that too. I mean, some of the hardest part too, guys. Like I know my tech over there is doing most of the talking, but I do help out every now and then and stuff like that. So troubleshooting, diagnosing, and finding out the problem is like 90% of the fix, right? And a lot of people that bring a gun up and don't know what's wrong with it, haven't even tried to figure out what's wrong with it, and they kind of just hand it off and then expect it to be fixed for free.
So you want them to triage it themselves, basically.
To an extent. I'm not telling you to open up your gearbox. I'm not telling you to.
So if I come in and be like, trigger pull, battery's plugged in, it won't pull the trigger. I'll be like, well, it's the trigger. Is that it?
It's going to help me narrow it down. It's going to help me narrow it down.
By doing
100%.
that, you help them. If you just say it stopped working and then you hand it to them, then expect not only a diagnosis charge, but probably an hourly fee or something like that.
So here, I'll give you this one. End of day Sunday last week, right, guys? Guy brought his gun up to me and everything like that. You were out in the field busy, so I was like, here we go. Max stepping up to the plate. He's going to go to the tech table, pretend like he knows what he's... I'm kidding, guys. I did know what I was doing. Okay? So I went through the basics. I was trying to figure out... He had no idea what was wrong with his gun. He told me his battery is good. He told me his gun was working fine. He had just played 2 games. He comes out, doesn't know what's wrong with it. So, okay, I go through the standard steps. I remove his battery. I put in a good battery, and boom, it starts working. I was like, wow.
So you triaged it, you identified the issue, then you put in a resolution.
But here's the thing, though. If you didn't think to check the battery first, you would have gone, checked the motor.
Oh, opened it
and you
up
would
and
have checked
everything like that.
The trigger
exactly,
contacts.
Exactly.
There would have been an opening the gearbox fee,
Yep.
an hourly fee. Oh, don't want to knock that over. An hourly fee. And it could have cost the guy.
Well, if you
$50 bucks.
like, I just want people to know, if you have anything that involves going into the gearbox, you better have your wallet on you, because I seriously do not expect anybody, unless they're your best friend, to open up a gearbox for free, because that is a lot of work.
Well, you have to know where all the parts go back to.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
shimming is an art, at least from what I understand, and that's
Yep.
the one piece of the puzzle that I lack. Electronics isn't that hard. It can be scary, but just from my experience with soldering and stuff like that, it's not hard. You just have to be careful. But shimming is an art.
Just don't trust
And-
tack on discharge rates.
So what I'm getting here, ultimately, this is a hobby.
Yeah.
And whether you choose to DIY it yourself or you have someone else do it, the time equals money.
100%.
Yes. Yeah.
Even if it's your time,
Yeah.
you're still spending time. You're still spending a lot of time, and then parts and stuff. It's a hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
It boils down to one thing. It's a hobby.
Well, and how much you want to get into it too. Like Tak was saying earlier too, if you are a tinkerer, I've
There's a
grown up-
lot of them out there,
Yeah.
but it's just hard to find them.
Yeah,
Well,
some people
the
want to,
easy-
some people don't.
The easiest example is that everyone who's changed a motor on their AEG calls themselves a tech. That's
But here's another thing on that, though, is that there's a lot of people out there that are trying to learn, and maybe they are pretty good at taking stuff apart, but there's a lot of stress about taking apart someone else's gun.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
Yeah.
they're irresponsibly taking on a job that they are not capable of, and then at the result of it, you're harming the customer.
Yeah, well, that's on the opposite end of it, right?
Yeah,
Obviously, you got the
exactly.
guys that may know what they're doing, but they're too scared to do
Admit
it on
it.
someone else.
Yeah.
Right? And you got the guys out there that are, I can take apart your gun, no problem.
Yeah, like I said,
I'll
I want
swap
to see a
out your-
portfolio. I
Yeah.
want to see
Well,
all them past builds.
Well, so then yes, and that comes, where it comes down to where you want to pick. Do you do it yourself or do you pay an expert to do it? And from my opinion, anyway, right? If I can't figure something out, some of the people that I take it to, that I think are reputable and that I like personally are local techs like Dijon Lam.
Yep.
Uh,
That name came up on the questionnaire a bunch of times.
Yeah.
You know,
Good
in
old
my
mustard
opinion,
tiger.
you know, Dijon's
Yeah.
very well spoken of tech. I've seen his builds. His builds are really clean. You know, the guy's a nice guy. He offers great rates. I've seen some of the bills for gun builds that he's done, and
Reasonable,
they're
yeah.
to me they're very reasonable. I also know that he does RHOPs and stuff like that. So if you don't think that you're good at doing RHOPs, which from what I understand a lot of people aren't, because I've seen the end effects of that, he's a guy that you can go and do that for. Another person is our local airsoft tech, Bishop. He part of Trainwreck
Eric?
Airsoft. Yeah, our
Okay.
buddy Eric there. He.
We would try and say your last name, Eric, but
Yeah,
I'm
I don't want to
sorry.
butcher your last
Kirk
name, Eric. I apologize on that. So.
It is of European
It starts
descent.
with a K and it ends with an R. This is the best we can do.
Yeah, for some reason I want to call it like that one that does the animations, Kurkazad.
Okay, stop.
something.
Now you got me doing it. Eric, we love you. I'm sorry.
Okay, but anyways, yeah. So, you know, if I can't figure out something AG wise, those are guys that I would take it to and stuff like that. And then, if those guys are busy, then I'm not saying worst case scenario kind of thing, but to me it's just like because I know that Trigger's very busy with their workload and stuff like that, just because they have
Summertime.
Big store.
summertime, and also because they're a store, there's guns that they have to warranty that they have to prioritize over someone just bringing in a gun kind of thing, right? So I know that they're busy, but if I had to, that's another option. If I can't find anyone locally,
We're gonna have to go East Coast.
exactly, you'd have to go East Coast. There's
To
a
the
couple.
big names,
Yeah, there's a couple guys out there, like Zimming from Black Blitz is one person.
Just Black Blitz in general.
Exactly.
Black Blitz, yeah.
South over the border, tech that is mentioned a lot, at least in the inner circle that I'm a part of, is Dan Bloomquist. He does a lot of customized retro arms builds, as well as
You better have deep pockets at that point if you're sending it over the border.
Anything across the border. is gonna
exactly, and
cost
as
you.
well as that his services are not cheap either. Like, I'd like people to be understanding that, like, I think one of his kits with the PDI barrel is something like 200 plus USD. So, yeah, again,
That's a lot.
it's not cheap.
It's not nice to your wallet. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
Nope.
his barrel's nice. I've personally used one of his barrels, sniper barrels actually, with an RHOP patch built in. I believe the barrel was lapped and everything like that, so it was not a cheap barrel. It shoots phenomenally. Problem is that I'm trying to go away from walking sticks, so at this moment I have an extremely nice barrel that I can't use. So I got to figure something out with that.
So, if you're watching this and you're listening to all these texts and you are a tech yourself, name drop it in the comments, guys, because
Yeah.
like,
There's
we-
a lot of up and coming techs out
yeah,
there.
I mean, if
We need
if
more
you
techs in the
if
community.
you think you could do it, yeah, and you don't mind doing other people's guns, then you're good. If you need to get your reputation up, drop it down. Come down to the field, advertise yourself. Let Mac and Tac know that like you're willing to help out other people, or or
And-
get paid work for it.
And even if you're not like confident in like gearbox stuff, if you know how to like do some electrical or something is issues with the hop up or whatnot, I'm sure people that are around here still would appreciate the help. I mean,
exactly.
Because not everyone that is like, say for example, like Dijon or Eric, they don't want to take a simple hop up issue, right? They do more like builds. Here's my gun. I want to put this, and this in it.
Yeah.
And
It's
another
hard to
thing
justify
add
their
about these
cost to
builds-
doing that.
Yeah, and everyone to add on to these builds, these guys offer like if something goes wrong with it, they will take it apart. They will fix it.
They
I
take
know
pride in their work.
They
definitely.
take pride in their work. That's a good way to
100%.
put it.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that they give you something that's working right,
Yeah,
and they want to make sure that if anything goes wrong, they'll do everything in their power to fix it.
exactly. And just like going through here, I got a quote here from for Dijon here. I really liked what he said, at least in my opinion, on what his take on teching is, and he was saying that there are no secrets to tech work. In his opinion, it's the practice and workmanship that sets apart the work from the rest. So that's in my opinion very humble of him, because I think that he does some phenomenal work. But obviously, his little advice out to people is that just take your time with it. Be careful and know what you're doing and stuff like that. And when it comes to Bishop, I understand that Bishop has a fairly good background when it comes to Crytax. I know that he's at least a local Crytax specialist. So
Well, I know Eric's got an electrical background.
yes, and he's very meticulous.
Yeah.
So
I have a couple builds that he did for me. I mean,
Good-
I've
good
sold
stuff.
them, but for now. But
Yeah.
when I had them, they worked
Performed great.
amazing.
yeah,
performed great.
and I have a couple guys on the team that also have mentioned his work.
Oh yeah, I've been shot by a Bishop build.
Yeah, I got
yeah.
one guy who's rocking a Scar L or Scar
Scar
H,
H.
Scar
Scar
H
H,
build,
yeah.
built as a DMR, and I'll tell you
A
right
proper
now, I
DMR,
don't
by the
like.
way.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
a proper
you.
DMR, exactly. That's semi-locked and everything like that.
And 7.62.
Yeah,
The more
and for me,
important
I've been
part.
on the business end of that, and I'll tell you that's a deadly gun. So if you want something, built, Bishop, Dijon are local options. I believe there was another option. Actually, let's get into the
of the
names that
responses,
the
yeah.
community suggested, because I believe we've kind of gone through.
And just while Poi's bringing this up, just remember that these guys, just because you throw money at them doesn't mean they're going to do your project right away. They've
Everyone's got
got lives. They've got builds that maybe were put in before yours. They they have their own guns they might have to fix.
Priorities and,
And be prepared to
availability.
receive a no, because
Yeah.
not sometimes, like I have turned away projects. I'll be flat out honest. There are some stuff that's completely out of my expertise, and there might be someone that I don't even know who to take it to, and my only suggestion is contacting the manufacturer and seeing if the manufacturer has an option for you, because at a certain point there are those special freaky guns that no one has ever taken apart before, and no one knows how to fix.
This is why you get a common gun.
And this is why you get an M4.
There you
And
go.
as Mac would say, not a G36.
An MP5.
Look, it's a nice gun, man. I'm not saying that
You're a
like
G36 hater.
I mean,
All
I
right.
think that most people are for
Look,
good reason.
a real G36, totally. G&G G36, get out.
You just have a big hate on
Yeah,
it
you
for
really
it.
It's just, I just don't. Like
I mean,
proprietary mags, man. Proprietary
there's that too,
mags.
and it's lighter than my MP5.
Yeah, it's a.
All right,
and
let
it's
me
a
read
rifle.
some of these responses
Yeah,
here.
let's get into these things.
So a few people were suggesting Spectre Airsoft.
Oh yeah.
Not too familiar with that.
I
Anyone?
believe he's one of the members of Overwatch.
Overwatch 6, right?
Yeah. He's the bush Wookiee.
Yeah, the bush Wookiee.
Ah,
Yeah.
there you go. Go ask him from Overwatch
He's actually
6.
also the master of color theory there.
Oh, is that
I
Mr.
did
Collins?
you- have-
You and me, we need to talk. We need to talk.
No,
You and
he
me, we need
mentioned
to
that. He
talk.
mentioned that. That was good. And hey, I'm not putting you on blast there, Spectre, okay? It was awesome. I was super happy that you were commenting there. Again, I agree. Multicam Tropic. If I could get it, I would.
I need to have a discussion with him about how accurate is that color palette I chose.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the color palette again?
Oh my god. Go watch the previous video.
I'm a week behind.
Comes on the podcast, hasn't even watched the
Mason, the easiest
podcast.
example is Flectarn covers all the bases.
Yeah,
Flectarn is amazing.
it is.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
Doesn't
really
do
surprised
anything
that it's
bad.
underused.
It doesn't do anything bad.
Mark at Damage 6 Precision.
Yes.
I have
Yes,
heard
yes,
that
yes.
name before.
Is
I
he
guess-
local? Is he local?
He is
Yes,
local.
he's local.
I
Where
won't
is
say
that?
exactly where he lives.
Please don't.
Please don't. We don't need
Don't do that.
I know for a fact works on Sistemas.
Yeah.
He has AEG packages you can get from him as well.
Yes,
which are,
I've seen
by the
them.
way, very fairly priced.
Yes, they
affordable.
are. Yes.
Yeah, he took my Sistema, which was very broken, and he fixed it within a day. It was not very expensive. A super friendly guy. Make sure everything works properly. Highly recommend.
Okay.
So, from what I'm getting, he's someone you would take a gun to, let's say, for example, for me, if I ran a gun stock and I ran it till it broke, he's
Yes.
the type of person that I would go and just get it completely.
Yes, so
redone
he actually
gun.
has a Facebook page, Damage 6M, something, Damage 6 something.
We'll put it down below.
Yeah,
guys.
we'll find it. But he has listed AEG packages, like a beginner level, like a mid-level.
So he's got like a business going on. This
basically, yes.
Okay.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So
there
this
you
is
go.
Good to hear.
There
This
you
is
go.
good to hear.
Legit
Yeah.
then.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely check him out if you're interested.
Okay. Another one that came up. He's also a really good friend. Is Schoolboy,
Ah.
Dave Carenza.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He does some pretty unique builds.
I don't think he's willing to take your builds anymore. I think he's just
Well,
he does his own.
No,
right?
right now he's
yeah.
busy with life.
Yeah,
and
he's
got his stuff
fairly
going
busy with you know his
He does have an
just-
active life.
Well, just yeah, and from what I understand, he was Trigger's original or one
yes,
of their.
he was actually my first salesperson when
Oh.
he sold me my first gun at
Yeah,
Trigger. That was a
back-
long time ago,
back
back
in
in
the
the
day,
days.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so he has a techie background. From what I understand, he's posted, I believe, some of his builds on his website.
His blog,
On
yes.
his blog,
Okay.
yeah, and they're
Schoolboy.
fairly well detailed and well written.
Very well
so-
detailed. He has taken apart a lot of unique guns.
Really?
Looked
The
at it.
Dragonov. I know
Yeah.
he did the Dragonov.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna make
Tavor.
sure we
He
put
does,
that down
uh,
below for you guys.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe
Yep.
he does a lot of deep dives into like
Yep.
the kits and just how it's built. And it's been a while because I remember I read his blog last year on a couple guns and stuff like that. It's been a while just because I believe he hasn't been active.
No, he's right now.
'cause
His
he's-
career involves him being outside of lower to
He had a
mainland right
career
now.
change.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
so right now you're not gonna be able to reach him. But as a personal friend, like he is like. I would vouch for him pretty well.
Yeah, so
Well,
if,
if he's
he's
willing
ever
to take
willing
your
give
build,
you,
yeah,
exactly.
there
If
you
he's willing
go.
to spare the time out of his busy day, then he's definitely.
I
someone
do know he's worth talking to. That is
Yep.
one thing.
Yeah.
Because I
He-
really enjoy all the technical knowledge
We-
and everything like that.
We will definitely have him in here for sure
I would love to,
because
yeah, yeah.
he goes deep dive into a lot of things.
Well, perfect. There you go.
I don't know why this guy put some random guy. He charges me cheap though.
What?
I think I know the guy you're talking about.
The random guy or the guy who's getting the cheap charge?
Both?
Really? Okay.
Okay,
oh,
yeah.
you're gonna have to
And
spill
then,
the
and
beans
then
here.
and then another one that keeps coming up is I wish I know who to go to. I mean,
Oh.
well, there you go. This is
Well,
the show.
This just
guess.
helped you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this guides
Well, I
you
mean, and
guys a little bit.
it's exactly like we talked about at the very beginning, right? It's about what do you want out of your. I was gonna say gun, but it's just like out of the hobby in general, right?
The
like
hobby you build.
exactly, because I mean, it comes down to like what kind of player you are, what kind of. It comes down to even what kind of personality you are.
Well,
Are you an aggressive player? Are you pushing up?
Yeah, do you want to be loud? Do you want to be like sneaky boy?
Yeah.
Well, talking to
Snicker
Tex-
boys.
Sneaky boy.
like,
hell
or at least
yeah.
talking to Bishop, from what I got from him is, from what I understand anyway.
Oh yeah. Paraphrase his.
is just research.
His
That's his
essay?
biggest advice.
I love
is
you, Eric.
research. Obviously, that comes from the fact that he's made many mistakes, and obviously, and same thing for myself as well. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've learned from them.
We have.
And so when you meet people like that, you really want to take their advice because either the mistakes were costly or they wasted a lot of time, and you don't want to go through that same cycle.
And that's another one that keeps coming up in the responses is DIY. I mean, like I said, ultimately hobby, do it yourself.
I think it is DIY for the most part until you hit that roadblock,
Yep.
and for that for people that roadblock is
Then
in
go
different places.
to a store
right?
like Trigger if you don't know who else to go.
It's hard because you're in that fight where it's like, how much time do I put in before I finally decide that it's too costly? Because I've met so many people who, if they had just gone and taken it to a tech, in the end they would have saved like,
couple $100.
a couple $100 exactly. Like I've
wasted parts,
exactly, and I know as a customer, from the customer perspective and a player perspective, it's hard to make that decision because people hate spending money. I'm not gonna lie, I hate spending money. Like I love spending money.
You are frugal, yeah.
But I hate spending money.
Yeah.
Same,
right?
same.
That's why I buy
So-
the guns, guys. TAC fixes them.
Yeah. But so exactly. So it really comes down to that. That's the fine line for me, is like, making that decision. That's why finding these resources, having these resources available is really important, because then that allows you to make that own personal decision, because we can't tell you what to do. We can only advise and give you guys our opinions, and you've heard it from us. And so from that, I would say you guys have to make your own decisions as we have these resources available to you guys.
Your name dropped in here once.
Oh, my name got dropped.
Uh,
Really? Are you sure it's not like?
TAC is the man when urgent.
Oh, okay.
Thanks,
Those quick
thanks
field-
Rainbow for that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so-
those are those quick field. I don't know what's
Yeah.
wrong with my gun, and yeah.
My gun was
You
shooting
are
into the
triaging
ground.
and diagnosing it.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah. Well,
You're tier 1.
a tier. Well, yeah. Well,
That's what it is.
Let's just say this. Like, I wouldn't call myself. I would say I'm a jack of all trades, but a master of none. You know,
Gotcha.
like that's pretty much the embodiment of where my skill is.
But even so, though, like even bringing it to someone who isn't amazing at anything, just getting them to look at it, and maybe they find out what's wrong with it, but they don't know how to do it. It's easy. Just bring it to the next guy who knows what he's doing.
It'll be
Tell
cheaper
him
for
what's
you.
wrong with it.
Yeah.
There you go. That gets rid of the whole diagnosing part of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So my
And
name
that's- and
got
that's
my
half of
name.
the thing,
That
right?
saves
And your
you.
name
My
got
name,
dropped.
my name got dropped here once as well for gas blowback.
Anything gas.
Well,
Yeah,
boy, I'm
come
But
to
coming
you
to
for
you.
again,
anything
the same
gas.
premise that you were saying there, Mason, where someone comes to me, I'll rip it apart, look at it, and be like, "You need to buy this part." That saves them a lot of time
Yes, it does. Because
to just like
buy
you
the
know
whole gun.
buying part by part what you need. I'll tell them like, "Yeah, this is broken. This is not supposed to be like this."
Yeah. Or you're able to tell them which part's starting to fail because of the way the gun's functioning and
Yeah,
stuff. Because
exactly.
you've gone through it, you've broken them. You have that experience.
Oh man, I mean, this has been a nice sort of talk in regards to maintaining your gun, and as well as going to figure out what's wrong with it, and as well as like, going like who's our local techs here.
There's a lot of resources out there, and it's really hard for people to navigate them, especially when they're brand new. Because obviously it can be daunting, intimidating. The size of your wallet really definitely has something to do with it. But yeah, it's something everyone can take a stab at. If you are not that kind of person that wants to dive into
That's
a
me.
gearbox,
Yep.
you don't have to. There
Yeah.
are people out there that will. But if you are someone that does want to get into this, that does want to try, be prepared for a lot of mistakes, and don't take that personal. Don't make that the to be all end all. Like it's like we all been saying, this is a hobby, and how serious you are into it dictates what you're gonna do.
Build a reputation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Build a
Yeah,
reputation.
Exactly. Word of mouth, it travels fast, and that's the best way to build any kind of
Yeah,
reputation.
you do a good job, they'll tell 10 people. You do a bad job, they'll tell 100.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Exactly.
test the Spectre, kid.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm gonna go give him my gun. I'm gonna say what-
Master of colors, see he's a master of gearboxes
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
Well,
I've seen the builds he's done for his team, guys.
You know,
okay,
I'll be
I've been
honest, I
shot
haven't
by
seen
these
it
guns.
yet.
so
This is how I judge them.
yeah.
They are effective.
So another thing
work.
I'd like to add too is that if you guys, the community, would like us to bring, my question to the community, I guess here is that would you guys like us to bring on some of these techs, who
For
are
a
some
deep
of
dive,
some of
yeah.
our local techs here, and see if they'd be interested in having a conversation and kind of hearing their story, so that we can kind of get a more detailed sort of version just directly from them. If something like that is you guys are interested in that, just comment down below in the YouTube channel there, and we'd be more than happy to respond and read your comments.
Perfect. I think we'll start closing this off. Any last comments on anything for attacking work or maintenance or anything like that? It's
Don't forget
also
to
getting
unplug
dark
your
outside.
battery.
I didn't realize how dark it was gonna be
Yeah,
here.
it's,
Sorry,
it's
guys.
getting a little bit darker.
Your
But luckily
gas
there's no
blowback
mosquitoes.
pistol is not a Toyota Corolla. You do not run it until it dies.
Oh, but you do.
God damn it, Mason. Take it apart and clean it. The amount of people who have brought me their pistol and told me that they have never cleaned it, and then take it apart and ask me to show them how.
I'm gonna take you.
I feel personally.
I'm gonna
attacked.
take you. I'm gonna say this for pistols. Gas blowback pistols are a gateway to gas blowback rifles.
100%.
If you could maintain a gas blowback pistol, you can maintain a rifle.
Yes,
Yes.
100%.
See,
All
but
right.
I personally, I have more difficulty working on a pistol than I do my M4.
Yeah, you just have bad luck. All right.
should
I
just
look
L96
at
train
your
your
gun.
speed.
Stick
for
to the
itself.
L96s, eh?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll sell them all eventually. They're like my little babies. I can't get rid of them. I got Bobby. I got
if you
Dylan.
guys
Alright.
made it this far in the podcast, there, hit the subscribe and like button.
Really
All
helps
right.
us out.
Yeah, it really helps us out. We love you guys.
Yeah. Just one last thing, guys. Tonight is what is it? ASG's night game.
That's
By the
right,
way, if you're
yes.
listening to this, tonight is ASG's night game. So go visit them.
Every second Friday.
Yeah,
Every second
so
Friday.
From what I understand, after this video is posted, you guys have 5 hours to get that notification put in so that you guys can.
And if you're watching this on Saturday, sorry.
Oh, yeah,
I
exactly.
thought you were gonna say 5 minutes. I was like, Tara, that's not enough time.
Not 5 minutes. No, you don't have 5 minutes. No, you guys got 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
And just to add on to that, guys, like I know I've talked to a bunch of people from the past week here, and a lot of people were under the perception that you needed NVGs or you needed to have some kind of night vision
They're
equipment,
helpful, but
psionics.
You do not need them.
You do not need them. Tack and I played the first ASG night game coming back, and I had a tracer unit I couldn't even use.
Yet again, you prove his theory that white light in a night game works.
Oh, it was great. It was great. It was great. It was great. I'm just saying, if I had the money, I would, or, you know, no. What did I say?
The video just
What did,
pan at me for a second?
can
there
we
with my
can we
blank
cut a
face?
clip of it in there?
Because-
I will go into debt for NVGs, but I had fun playing with my white light.
All right.
Or you have both.
Where's that? Where's that
You know,
chair, guys?
That's kind of cool too.
Hold on. Let me get him right now.
And with
All
that,
right.
guys,
And folks, he's
that's
gone.
the end of our podcast for episode 8, I
Yep,
believe.
Episode 8. Wow. And
Wow.
Mac, you want to end this off with your usual end gig here, and then I'm gonna close the video.
I have a usual now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it.
I don't know.
That's all, folks.
All right, that's it. We'll see you guys on the next podcast. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Take it easy, guys.